Emergency Summit that was held on June 4 was a landmark event that gave participants the opportunity to discuss Papua New Guinea's response to the global climate emergency and commitments towards the UN Biodiversity and Climate Convention conferences of the parties scheduled later in 2021. High-level participants discussed ways to consolidate national and international partnerships to build a platform for climate action and financing in the country.
Let us all make this day a historical day, and let us shift from discussion to action.
We are also supporting PNG to address mitigation and adaptation targets, the roadmap to achieve Sustainable Goal 13 on climate action, PNG's nationally determined contributions, as well as a national climate change adaptation plan, are all examples of the support which we have provided.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce that PNGFA now has a new corporate plan, 2020 to 2030, and a new corporate structure towards a major paradigm shift in the way we conduct business. The corporate plan will drive the priorities of the government in forestry sector and the achievement of the SDGs, and also implement commitments under the international agendas of the international treaties ratified by the government.
It comes at a critical time in our development pathway. The effects of climate change and biodiversity loss are already being felt by communities across Papua New Guinea. This summit comes at a time when the planet is at crossroads. The path we choose now determines the lives our children and future generations will live.
The summit focused on climate change initiatives to progress the 30 climate actions identified as necessary under Papua New Guinea's SDG 13 climate change roadmap, an initiative proudly supported by UNDP in PNG. The summit's call to action reaffirmed Papua New Guinea's commitment to its enhanced nationally determined contributions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to mitigate the impacts of climate change.
The summit has the potential to highlight how new conservation and climate-compatible business opportunities can drive PNG's long-term economic prosperity while supporting livelihoods and protecting the environment at the same time.
Papua New Guinea will be well positioned to highlight the contributions our country makes to global conservation efforts, combine our voices with our partners in the Asia-Pacific region, and spearhead the call for greater financial support for island developing states.
We're looking at technology that will allow us to value this forest. We'll put it on a blockchain technology. I know a lot of people are skeptical about this, but blockchain technology is not new. It's actually our old tribal technology, where we keep each other under close scrutiny. This has been happening for thousands of years. The world has just discovered it and put it on the internet. Blockchain technology allows us to store all this information, the value of this forest, which we can then use when it's certified to trade with transnational corporations who are now under increasing pressure to offset their carbon footprint. This is very real.
For me, the importance was translating what we talk about in events like this into reality and what it meant for people, the reality of climate change. And I was struck by a couple of things. One was the complexity of the whole climate change challenge. It's not just the death of coral reefs, the rising sea levels. It's the knock-on effect that has on people's livelihoods. We saw crops washed away. It's knock-on effect to essential services as well. We visited some displaced people in Tinputs, and of course if you're displaced from an atoll, you need land, you need to educate your children, you need health services. It puts pressure on the local services. So it reminded me that climate change is not an issue that you park in the climate change ministry. It goes much wider than that, and all of us need to be involved.
In 2017, ECBIC was producing about 9,600 tons of cocoa. As of last year, within a 2-year period, just by improving efficiencies, improving yields, ECBIC is doing around 20,000 tons now. That makes us the largest producer, but to give it some significance, we are now producing more cocoa than East New Britain and the autonomous region of Bougainville combined, without having to chop down any new rainforest to plant new areas. So again, this is in line with, how do you maximize your production so that it reduces the need to chop down more and more rainforest?